Okay, real talk. Have you guys ever noticed how obsessed the Torah is with firstborns? The entire book of Genesis seems to revolve around this question of who gets firstborn status, from Abraham all the way down to Joseph. And what's strange is that the actual firstborn almost never gets firstborn status. For example, Isaac gets firstborn status even though Ishmael was born first. Jacob gets firstborn status even though Esau was born first. What's up with that? Well, let's try to understand the unique role a firstborn child plays in the family unit. Practically, he's the one closest in age to the parents and to the rest of the kids. He's kind of this transitional figure or generational bridge, which means he's in the best position to take the parents' values and bring them to the next generation. And what's wild is that the very word itself, Bechor, the Hebrew word for firstborn, actually implies that role. Let me show you. The word Bechor is made up of the letters bet, chaf, resh. In the system of gematria, where every Hebrew letter has a numerical value, bet is 2, kaf is 20, and resh is 200. They're all multiples of 2, increasing in the ones, tens, and hundreds. These letters in this order imply expansion. Now watch what happens when we connect this to the Hebrew word for father. Father in Hebrew is av, aleph-bet. Aleph is 1 and bet is 2. What we see here is the beginning of expansion from 1 to 2. The father is trying to transmit his values to the next generation. And then the Bechor, the firstborn, takes that 2 and expands it. 2 becomes 20, 20 becomes 200. The Bechor is the vehicle through which the father's values multiply and spread to future generations. And so the Bechor is less about who was born first and more about legacy, about who actually carries the mission forward. That's why Isaac is the Bechor and not Ishmael, and why Jacob is the Bechor and not Esau. Which brings us to Israel. God tells Pharaoh, Israel is my firstborn son. What an odd thing to say. Israel obviously isn't the first nation. Many nations existed before Israel. Yet they're God's Bechor, the nation charged with taking God's values and expanding them to the world. You see, the Torah isn't obsessed with birth order, it's obsessed with legacy, with who chooses to carry the mission forward. And that entire concept, it's encoded right there in the word itself. And that is the genius of the Hebrew language.